All right, so if you saw my YouTube short, you already know why we're here. We are going to be replacing the AC belt tensioner on the Silverado. And I know it's the issue because I've already used my handy dandy stethoscope to roll it out. So what we're going to do is get under the truck, and we're going to take this splash shield off, the front one. You're just going to have 5 bolts. There are going to be 3 in the front right here, and then 2 in the back right here. They're 15 millimeter. Once you have that off, you're going to have access to the tensioner, which is going to be right there. So this is going to come in handy. You're going to need an extension and then a 3/8 ratchet. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it right on there. We're going to take the tension off of the AC belt, and we're just going to set the belt to the side there. That way, when we're taking these bolts off, the belt doesn't push up against the tensioner and put pressure on the threads. So we have the extension like that, and then you're just going to pull the tensioner down. So you can see there, I just pushed the belt to the back a little bit, just get it off of there and got the tension off of the tensioner. So now we can remove the 2 bolts. Those are also going to be 15 millimeter. There's a couple different things that you could do for the second bolt, the one that's closest to the AC compressor, and that is you could turn your steering wheel, your wheels to the right. That'll move the pitman arm a little bit and get it off to the side. That'll give you a little bit more room, but you're still going to have to use like a ratcheting wrench or something to get to that. The second one is right behind those lines there. There we go. What I'm going to do is actually just use 2 extensions. I got the longer one, then just a standard short extension. And that's going to bring me out a little bit past the arm here and all these lines, but I'll still be able to get to that bolt. So it should be set up something like that. It's on the bolt, 2 extensions, and then you could be able to wrap. All right, once you do that, you can get that first one off. There we go. So now we got the old tensioner off. And as you can see, my serpentine belt is still on. You don't need to remove that. You don't need to do really anything up above. This is all from under the truck. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but that's where all that noise is coming from. Here's the new one. No noise. So you just want to match them up. Make sure that they look the same. They are. Kind of don't like the new one. It looks like they use like cast iron or cast aluminum or something like that. I don't know. But hopefully it's just as sturdy. Go ahead and install the new one now with the 2 bolts. One thing I did want to mention that I didn't mention in the beginning of the video is that I actually replaced my belt about 1.5 years ago. There's a video on it. So it's still fairly a good belt. And so I'm not going to be replacing it. But if your belt is old, it has a lot of miles on it, you're going to want to replace it with the tensioner. So in that case, if you're replacing your belt as well, you're going to need to take off the, or not take it off completely, but loosen the serpentine belt. So then that way you can move that out of the way, and then you can get the AC belt off. So since I'm not replacing it because mine's still fairly new for the most part, I don't need to remove any of that. So that's why we're just replacing the tensioner, and we could do it with this method. And position it back under the holes just like that and thread in the new bolts. Bolts back in place. You just want to make sure that the belt is back on the AC compressor. It's back on the harmonic balancer. And that it's all lined up, and then you're going to go ahead and put tension back on this and get it back in place. Before we put the belt back on, we're going to go ahead and torque those bolts to 37 foot-pounds. Once you have that torqued down, now we can go ahead and put the tension back on it and put the belt back on. Just run your fingers all around the pulleys. Make sure that the belt is seated correctly so that you don't have any issues when you go to start it up. Once everything's okay, you've already torqued down the bolts, then you're all done. It's that easy.